everybody. Welcome to another edition of Prep Huddle Live here on StrivSports.com. A little different format of the show today as far as how we get this show to you. Of course, it comes out live on Wednesdays, but we're actually pre-recording our segments from Tuesday morning, actually. So we've got a great lineup of guests, and we've got Riverside boys coach Joe Imus that will join us. Nick Orduna, the head coach of Lincoln Christian, their big trip to Arizona is coming up. We'll talk about that. And Tony Chapman is back from Florida, of all places, to give us a little bit of the Striv 5 and some of the storylines that we'll be following as we get ready for the Christmas break. All of our guests join us today on the Truck Center Company's hotline for great career opportunities. You can log on to their website, dieseltex.com. And don't forget that we're giving away another t-shirt today if you tweet us during the live show, even though we pre-recorded it, during the live show only on Wednesday at noon with the hashtag PrepHuddleLive. We'll get you squared away with some Striv t-shirts, maybe even a little extra Striv swag. We'll put that in there as well. So happy to have you along with us here as we get ready for the end of the Christmas season, or end of December is coming up, it seems like, and it's a fun time on the Striv Network because plenty of basketball games, a lot of schools streaming wrestling, and a ton of schools streaming those holiday concerts as well. So Striv.tv, if you haven't been there lately to see the upcoming schedule, it's a lot of fun to see all of the different athletics and activities that get streamed by our respective schools. The Riverside boys have now picked up where they left off in football, and that is an undefeated start to the season. We've got Coach Joe Imus on the Truck Center Company's hotline. Coach, you got to be happy with the way the guys have started coming out to begin the season. The offense seems to be putting up some points, and the defense is always something that kind of gets a little bit better throughout the year for you guys.
Yeah, we knew coming into the season would be a pretty decent offensive team, and like you said, you know, our focus has been defense. It might not show right away, and you know, that's something we're going to improve on throughout the year, but I like where our offense is at, especially this part of the season.
Now, we've got some clips to show of the your guys' game with Humphrey St. Francis. It was a win this year. Talk us through it, through the game, because 75-66 is a little bit different from the last time you guys played St. Francis in basketball, which was 40-39 in the state tournament last year.
Yeah, I think Humphrey St. Francis giving up 75 points. I think that's the most they've given up in the last 18 years, checking back. But, you know, they're known for their defense, and, you know, us scoring that many points, I don't think their defense is any worse than it's been in years past. Looking on film, it actually seems like it's maybe even better than what it's been. But, you know, our guys did a good job keeping their composure, and one thing that St. Fran does a really good job at is making players feel uncomfortable, and when they start feeling uncomfortable, then they kind of fall into the hands of what St. Fran wants to do. And our guys, you know, did a good job of executing what they were supposed to be doing. The ball never stuck. They moved it around really well, and they were able to attack and get some good shots.
Hey, Coach, we know about Noah Vlasic. We're on a personal vendetta to make sure he's not vendetta, but we're on a personal mission to make sure he gets as much postseason recognition for everything that he can. Aside from Noah, though, you got plenty of guys that are very capable of scoring, including a freshman that you gave us a heads up on way back in August before football season that this freshman kid might be pretty good, and it seems like he's had a pretty good start to the season so far.
Yeah, I mean, Noah, he's going to deserve everything that he gets recognized for, but, you know, some of those younger guys that are surrounding him, like you mentioned with Traden Prosofsky, he's averaging, I believe, 24 points a game right now, which isn't too bad for a freshman. And, you know, in our exhibition game against Boone Central, he ended up having 39 points on 9 3-pointers that he made. So he's not afraid to let it fly when he needs to, but, you know, unlike a lot of freshmen that are good three-point shooters, he also does a good job taking it to the hoop and finding his teammates, so he's more than just a set shooter.
And some of the other guys that just watching some of the highlights from St. Francis, which is what we've got going, shots were kind of going in for a lot of different guys that night.
Yeah, we have Riley Swerzik. I think he had a pretty big game against St. Fran. He's averaging close to 20 points as well, and I think him and Traden each have 17 3 makes on the season, which I think both of them are up there towards the top of the state all class. So, you know, we've got more than just Noah who can score, which kind of takes a lot of pressure off of him.
You guys have finished third at state each of the last couple seasons. What do you tell the guys in practices and even getting ready for games that was the most important thing for trying to get over that hump?
You know, the first year we got third 2 years ago, the first year of Riverside, I think it was a pretty good accomplishment because I don't think too many people even expected those guys to make it to the state tournament. But, you know, last year when they were literally a couple seconds away from playing in the state championship, it really stung for those guys. And to be honest with you, I don't think that pain has really subsided too much in the last 9 months. So, you know, it's more of those guys knowing how close they were. That's really persevered them to keep going. We don't really preach too much about it or at all. It's just more of those guys knowing how close they are, and they got to get just a little bit better to get over that hump.
We mentioned the undefeated start for you guys, and it's 4-0, and obviously that's very good. There are some really good games for you guys coming up before the Christmas break, and then you go to Ravenna for the holiday tournament. So it's not like you guys have eased into this season at all schedule-wise. How does a schedule that you've got in December hopefully transpire in the end of January, February, and March?
I think it's going to help immensely for us. You know, we've already had a pretty decent schedule we've played. You know, we have obviously St. Fran, which we've talked about, but two of our other opponents are going to end up having nice seasons. And here coming up this week, we have Fullerton and Chambers Wheeler Central, which are both going to be really athletic, talented teams. And we cap off with Lutheran High going into the holiday break. And, you know, Lutheran High is one of those teams I think they're kind of flying under the radar. They returned basically everybody from last year. And looking at our schedule before the season even started, I kind of thought that was probably going to be our toughest game all year. So, you know, we'll be challenged. And coming after the holiday tournament, we've got, you know, Heartland, they're going to be good. Humphrey Lindsay's good. Burwell's good. So we've got a stretch of pretty tough games, and that's only going to help us out throughout the year and going into the postseason.
It's always a lot of fun to check in with the Chargers, so we hope to talk again a couple times perhaps by the end of the year. That is Riverside boys coach Joe Imus. Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck the rest of the way for you guys.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
When we come back here on Prep Huddle Live, we will have Lincoln Christian girls coach Nick Orduna and our senior writer Tony Chapman is back from Florida, of all places. That is coming up on StrivSports.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself. This is what I'd recommend. Let's get to work. Now, this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays. Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Welcome back to Prep Huddle Live here on StrivSports.com. The Lincoln Christian girls are off to a 5-0 start on the season, and their head coach, Nick Orduna, joins us now on the Truck Center Company's hotline. Coach, thanks for taking some time with us for the show today.
You bet. Thanks for inviting me. We've been really thankful for the Striv family and being able to help share our story via the program that you guys have provided for us. A lot of people have commented on it. We're real thankful for that.
Well, that's what we're here for. So we'll continue to share that story if it's all right with you guys. Let's talk about your offense first this year. You've got a group right now that's averaging 77 points a game, which is not at the top, but is very high and much in the record books as of so far this year. Plenty of basketball to go. We get that. We've seen a few clips on the Striv channel, like you said, though. So introduce us to the girls this year and who makes up the Crusader team.
Yeah, we have some really gifted basketball players, and a lot of the starters have started for the last 3 years, and so they're very experienced. They've played a lot of basketball, and you watch them, especially offensively, and just the way they handle the ball. And everyone out there can shoot the three. We really like shooting threes, and we were able to create a lot of our offense just on defense too. We like to create some tempo and apply pressure to teams and challenge their ball handling. And again, oftentimes that creates some easy scoring for us. So yeah, we have returning starters are Ashlyn Power, who is a senior. Along with Molly Shepard, who also is a senior. And then Chloe DeWark and Tatum Coleman are juniors on the team. And one of our starters went down with a broken bone in her foot, Emmy Hollenbeck. And so we're working in a couple other posts in that position, and they're doing well. So Michelle Gaislerova, a foreign exchange student from the Czech Republic, is stepping into that role. And then Emmy's sister comes off the bench. She's 6'3", freshman, and she's starting to get some minutes for us too.
Well, runners-up last year, semifinal loss the year before that. How does those losses in March affect what the girls do in the offseason and how you prepare as a coaching staff to get ready for the next season?
Yeah, again, it's really nice that all those girls get to come back. Sometimes, as a coach, you lose some key players in your rotation, but man, to have everybody back has been a blessing for me. The challenge is just to stay hungry and stay humble and to keep working. We really seek out tough competition because we know that's what's going to help to identify weaknesses we have as individual players and also as a team. And so we're looking for that, and we really have emphasized just competitive practices too, to kind of sharpen each other. And because of the number of girls that have good experience and are good enough to play at the varsity level, we've had some really competitive practices. So those are things that we've emphasized as we start a new season and look forward to what happens at the end of the season.
What is something that you as a coach and your coaching staff try to instill during practices, whether it be maybe a motto or a certain drill, a certain way that when you see it happen in a game, you just can't help but smile about it?
Yeah, that's an easy answer for us because we emphasize defense. And like I said earlier, defense creates offense, and so the girls really have bought into that. And so communicating on defense, working together and being in sync with our press or even on our half court, just man-to-man pressure. And we really are emphasizing the importance of defense, as most coaches will tell you. helps to win those games. And so when we see the girls, whether it's in practice or in a game, kind of in sync and just locking people up and playing good defense, that definitely brings a smile to our face.
I got to ask you about the next one of the things coming up before the Christmas break is you guys have a really unique opportunity in the trip to Phoenix and the Nike Tournament of Champions. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, how that came to be for you guys to go down there, and then what you'll be doing as far as games and this kind of the schedule for you guys for those 4 or 5 days in Arizona.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to the competition. I'm going to see some of the best around the nation. There's teams from California and Chicago and New York and Florida. I think over 80 teams there, and they just kind of divide you up in division. We just got an invitation, and we thought about whether we wanted to go, and we thought this would be a great opportunity for these girls, and again, as we seek competition to make us better, we think it's going to be good. So we leave Sunday, and then we'll play Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday, and then fly back on Friday. So I think we start with Bishop O'Dowd, which is a great team from Oakland, California. Some really good players, and so yeah, I think it's just going to be great for our team chemistry, just to spend some extra time with each other, but also the experience will be something that they won't forget. And it's always nice to get away from the cold and enjoy a little heat in the middle of December as well.
A little sunshine didn't hurt anybody. So how do you hope that this experience with the competition, how do you hope it transpires as you come back into January and February, and like we said, hopefully then in March?
Yeah, we're 5-0 right now, but we really need to be challenged. We really need to be tested, and so those 4 games will definitely be opportunities for that. And then when we come back, we'll play the Oahu Holiday Tournament, and our first round opponent is Bishop Newman, who's at the top of our class and in our district as well, along with Elkhorn South, who's at the top of Class B, and Wahoo's undefeated right now too. So our next 6 games over this Christmas break are going to be just excellent opportunities for us to get better. And so we look forward to the competition.
That is Lincoln Christian girls coach Nick Orduna. Coach, thanks so much for the time. We wish you guys the best of luck, and can't wait to hear about the trip to Phoenix coming up.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thanks for reaching out and covering us, and again for helping us share our story.
Thanks. We will be back with more Prep Huddle Live. Tony Chapman is coming up next on StrivSports.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy?
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself. This is what I'd recommend. Let's get to work. Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to Dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to Dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays. Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Welcome back here to Prep Huddle Live on StrivSports.com. It's time to bring in Tony Chapman. He's our senior writer, and he is back from the great state of Florida. So, Tony, first of all, we have got some quality basketball teams, and we were looking at the playoff points, the wild card points, in classes C1 and C2, and both of those classes in the top 10 littered with Strive schools. It's going to be a fun basketball season on those boys' sides there.
Yeah, it's really hard in December, Eric, to kind of figure out who's who and who's what and what they're doing. But December's also because you get a loss here or one or two losses, and then you put yourself kind of behind the eight ball when it comes to district time, and maybe you're fighting for a wild card spot, and you lost a game on December 12th or 13th or 14th that you wish you could have back. So these games are very important, and we've got a lot of teams off to a good start. And boy, the next 10 days, well, I guess up until the 22nd when the moratorium goes, you're going to look at some really, really good basketball games throughout the state that'll be on the network. So it should be fun here before Christmas.
Well, let's start in C1, where there 4 of the top 5 in the wildcard are Strive schools. You got Fillmore Central, Gothenburg, Winnebago, North Bend Central. They are 2, 3, 4, 5 in points, all undefeated. And then you've got Boone Central, Newman Grove is undefeated, and Lincoln Christian, they've got a loss. They're 4-1 though on their season. So obviously, like you said, the quality of basketball at the top end of that C1 class is very good.
Yeah, big stretches for a few of these teams too. Fillmore Central, early feather in their cap with the win against Milford in the season opener. That's a big win for the Panthers. And then you look at Gothenburg. I think we kind of all expected Gothenburg to be a team led by Dawson Graham. That would be a team that would probably contend for Class C1 title. And of course, Winnebago now down to C2 for a year, back up to C1. Of course, they won C1 in 2015, lost in the semifinals last year to Elmwood Murdoch in C2. So Winnebago's 3-0. I was just checking up. I was following up on David Winget in 3-0. He scored 31, 19, and 33 points so far this year. And it'll be interesting to follow them this weekend. They'll be out in Rapid City, South Dakota at that Lakota Nation National Tournament that they won last year. So Coach Barrage has got the Indians locked and loaded. And then how about the follow-up for North Bend Central? Of course, we talked to their coach, Jonathan Bear, a couple times last year. They made it to the state tournament. They've won their first 3 games by 20, 42, and 41 points. So the Tigers are locked and loaded too. And then I'm kind of looking forward to Boone Central, Newman Grove. They look like a team that could get through 2016 unbeaten. And then January 6th, they'll host O'Neill on Strive. That'll be a game on the first Friday of the new year. So you can see kind of these things are really getting set up. It's pretty fun to watch this set up so far here early in the season.
And then C2, there's plenty of good Strive schools. Elmwood Murdoch is right there at the top as far as playoff points. We talked to Coach Shelsta last week. Amherst is a new Strive school, and of course they had a remarkable run in C2 a year ago. They're fourth in playoff points. Donovan Trumbull is up there. And then UTAN, Cross County, and Centennial sounds a little bit like we were talking about back in football season, but those guys are back right there as with only one loss between the three of those schools.
Yeah, you look at UTAN, their loss is I believe a 64-62 loss to Elmwood Murdoch. How about that opening weekend for Coach Shelton and the Knights? They, as you talked about it last week, they beat UTAN by 2, and then they beat Nebraska City Lords by 1 in their preseason tournament, Lords won Class D1 last year. Then again, Amherst off to that quick start, 4-0. Look on your document that you sent over to me, Eric. They're actually going to play Arcadia Loop City this week in a game that will be on Strive. Arcadia Loop City is 5-0. And then Donovan Trumbull, as you mentioned, a heck of a football season as well for the Cardinals. They're actually going to play at Fillmore Central this week as well. So some big games again early. And Cross County's got one as well as they'll play BDS this weekend as well. So really a lot of teams that can set themselves up for the postseason with some early wins here before Christmas.
Let's flip the script a little bit and go to girls basketball, where Mitchell has kind of caught our eye a little bit. They're 4-1 this season. They've only got 2 seniors on the squad. It's a pretty young team to be taking down 3 Class B teams and a very good Hemingford team as well.
Boy, already have beat Scottsbluff, Sydney, and Gehring, I believe, in this season. And then, as you just mentioned, they also took down Hemingford, who is 2-1, and I think everybody out west expects them to be a player for a state championship come March. But yeah, you look at Coach Brock Ayler's team; they're averaging 52 points a game. They've got a junior junior Jory Peters, who leads them in scoring, and she averages 12.6 points a game. And then they have a sophomore, Kiana Wilfred, who is averaging just over 11 points a game. So Mitchell, she's a 6'3 sophomore, Eric, as I'm just looking on Max Preps. I clicked on her profile. So a 6'3 sophomore you'd probably take at any level of basketball, especially at the girls level. So Mitchell off to a quick start, and we can watch them, I think, a couple times too. They've got a couple of big games coming up here again before Christmas as well, but a nice start for them. And it's fun too to look at some of those C1 Malcolms undefeated, St. Paul's undefeated, all those girls that we talked about in volleyball. So it'll be interesting to see how the girls shake out as well. And I see down in C2, Howells Dodge leads the power points. They were a player in D1, made it to the finals last year. So a lot of familiar faces that we're seeing as well, playing well early here on the girls' side as well.
And then we've got our Strive 5 that is always fun to watch, and it seems like every week, especially as we've gotten into basketball season, we realize that kind of as Strive in general grows, there's going to be more opportunities for some great games. So the Strive 5 is going to be a lot more difficult to kind of narrow down as we go forward. But there's a couple really fun ones, and let's start on Friday with what we've got. You already mentioned Cross County is at BDS. That'll be a fun boys matchup. And then one in Class B that is already being pumped up earlier in the week even is Aurora at York. Both those girls' teams are undefeated.
And both those boys' teams are undefeated. I think 10-0 or 14-0 combined between the two teams. All 4 teams are ranked. Aurora, of course, both teams made it to the state tournament last year, and so I think this will be a great one. Aurora, Addison Narbers kind of led them here early in the season, and this should be a really good one. York has that early win as well against Waverly, so both teams. This will probably be Aurora's first big test, and York, having beat Waverly, will be ready for another test. So this is a big one early, and again, the nightcap, the boys game, should be fantastic as well. Both of those boys teams have kind of rolled through their competition early as well.
Then let's go to Saturday, a fun one between C2, again, a top 5 in the points, and Donovan Trumbull in Geneva to take on Fillmore Central, who is number 2 in the C1 points.
Yeah, I think this is this is one of those one of those games, as we said earlier, that could get you possibly into the state tournament if you were to stub your toe at districts. You've got a Doniphan Trumbull team who's off to a quick 4-1 start and will probably be, I think, a good contender to win the Lou Platte Conference. Them and Adams Central both, and then you've got again Fillmore Central, who you need all the wins you can get if you're the Panthers, and when you're off to that undefeated start, you want to keep things going. So this will be a big one in Geneva. As big as they've come here in the last couple of years, the Panthers have turned it around. They've been kind of fun to watch here in the last couple of years.
I sure have. And then we go into the early part of next week before next week's show. On Tuesday night in the girls, you've got Humphrey St. Francis at Nebraska Christian, one that might fly under the radar a little bit, but intriguing nonetheless. Playoff points, like you said, are going to be big in this one.
Yeah, D2 St. Francis, and then Nebraska Christian C2 in basketball. So Nebraska Christian, they've done a very good job here early so far in the season. And St. Francis, always a power. I think they've been, it seems like they're at the state tournament every year. So that'll be a good one. Both those teams now in the same conference, so that's kind of a goldenrod conference bragging rights game there. Those two teams plus Fullerton, I think the teams to beat in that league.
And then the nightcap for the boys, as far as our Strive 5 games, should be fun, is Norris at Aurora. We've had a lot of fun with Aurora, whether it's been the girls basketball or volleyball or football or boys basketball has been a ton of fun. And they've got a couple of seniors, Austin Allen and Tommy Leiniger, that are legit prospects at whatever sport they decide to go into. Tommy's going into basketball. Austin, of course, is going to go on scholarship at UNL for football. But those two are a lot of fun to watch anyway, and I think a matchup with Norris will be a ton of fun to watch on Tuesday night.
Norris, a team with some really nice athletes. They made a nice run in football. A lot of those guys have transitioned over to the basketball club. But, boy, Aurora is focused and just beating the tar out of everybody so far. You look at what I was most impressed with, the score. They beat Adams Central, who I think is a legit Class C1 title contender. And I think they beat them by about 30 in that first game of the year. So Coach Leiniger's got Tommy and Henry Penner and Austin Allen. They're all playing at a very high elite level, and it'll be fun. The nice measuring stick games for them, both on Friday and on Tuesday, and so these will be really good games on the network. I mean, there's even a few, Eric, you didn't even mention. I'll throw them out there real quick. Friday, you've got Omaha Westside girls. They're undefeated, playing Millard West. That'll be on the channel. Howells Dodge and Bancroft Rosalie Lions Decatur. That will be but two undefeated teams on Friday. Just to give you a peek there, those are two other good games that I kind of mentioned or kind of looked at as well. That should be fun. And we also, I think earlier, mentioned that Amherst and Arcadia Loop City boys game, which is also on Friday. It's a busy night Friday. You could probably have a laptop, an iPod, your iPhone. You could have as many games going as you want. You could download the app even too and watch them all that way, huh?
You took the words right out of my mouth. It sounds like you need to get the app on many different devices, and of course you can watch on desktops as well, because the app, it works well. It works great on an iPad, iPhone. Still, the Android version of the app still in development, but if you've got the iOS, that's the place to go. There's a couple of events that we want to kind of bring everyone's attention to that are coming up before the holiday break, and really actually right after the holiday break. A fun one, I think, for some people to watch, and it's going to be interesting to see. We haven't really figured out exactly what we're going to do with the game, but what is going to be fun, whether you're watching up close or watching from afar, is Winnebago going to Omaha Central on the last night before the moratorium starts. And Omaha Central is taking the stream, I believe, but it should be a lot of fun, and I think there will be a ton of stories to tell out of this game, Tony.
Yeah, it should be fantastic. Of course, you look at David Winchetta, legit, I think, Division I recruit. And then on the Omaha Central side, Isaiah Poorbear Chandler, who's the New Mexico commit. And then I think Roman Barron's maybe one of the best guards in the state. A brutal schedule here early for Omaha Central. They are 1-2. They've lost 2 overtime games. But it looks to me like, given their schedule, they could get 3 more wins before next Thursday. And that would give them a 4-2 record. And then we'll have to see how Winnebago Winnebago responds in that Lakota Nation tournament. I was looking at Winnebago's schedule, Eric, and they'll play a team this year from every classification except Class B. So they're playing A all the way down to D2, and they really challenge themselves with the schedule, play a multitude of teams. They'll come down and play in the Heartland Hoops Classic later in the year as well. So this should be a fun one on Thursday at Ralston Arena, and I just think fantastic for the state of basketball to get these two really good teams who I think are both title contenders in both of their classes together to play.
And then after the holiday break, we will actually be heading to Lincoln. The Nebraska Wesleyan Holiday Tournament is in their next year of competition, and we will be there on Friday to be doing the streams for the finals of what is a 3-day tournament. So we'll have 2 girls and 2 boys games going on that day, including the championship matches, and 4 different Strive schools represented within that tournament. So it should be a lot of fun. And last year there was a snowstorm, and so we ended up being there. We were supposed to be there on the last day, and we ended up being there on the second to last day. So last year it was 7 games. This year only 4 games that we'll be streaming, but still some really good competition. There's so many good holiday tournaments that you got to come out of that 5-day break that the state has you take over the Christmas weekend and whatnot, and then there's so many good holiday tournaments that teams go into, and this is just one of them.
Yeah, I think you look at that holiday tournament at Wesleyan, probably for Class D, that's a premier holiday tournament to really give you a measuring stick on where you're at. You look at that boys field, Heartland and Deschler and Bruning, Davenport, Shickley are all in that field. They're all undefeated right now, and it's possible they could all head into that tournament undefeated. So you look at those 3 schools on the boys side, and then you look at BDS and Heartland on the girls side as well, and you mix in Friend, who is 4-1. They're in that field as well. And so you've got really 3 probably ranked teams in each side of the field in Class D on both the boys and the girls side. So some really good basketball you guys will see. Turn the Music City Bowl off that day. Watch the Nebraska Wesleyan Holiday Tournament with Eric.
DVR. That's what DVR is for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's how I got to do it. So we might have I might have the iPad with the updates. And anyway, so Tony, thanks a lot for joining us today, and we'll catch you again next week. We've got some fun stories that are going to be coming up on Strive Sports as well. We're kind of finalizing some details, but some things coming up, the written article, the video aspect, Prep Huddle Live. Been a lot of fun so far, and looking forward to the end of December coming up.
Yeah, it should be fun. Again, yeah, big time of year for most of these teams. You can try to get to the Christmas break unscathed and uninjured, and win a few big games that'll help you down for February, March.
As always, we like to say thanks to Cornerstone Bank, to Channel Seed, Truck Center Companies, Dickey's Barbecue, Nova Fitness Equipment sponsoring our show here today. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us on Prep Huddle Live, pre-recorded from Tuesday. We'll see you next week from # here in Henderson.